Hello, my name is Bill Brady, and we are talking about addiction in the United States. In the United States, we are given many freedoms. However, people tend to take advantage of these freedoms, and it can become a huge problem. Addiction happens to be one of these problems, and it's becoming more and more of an issue. The government has put a lot of effort into trying to stop the addiction problem in America, but it seems to get worse and worse the more effort they put into it. However, many people are beginning to do more and more research on how it physically affects people and narrowing down the different types of addiction. Addiction as a whole is becoming or is beginning to become more recognized as a mental disease, which allows the government and the people of America to pay more attention to the problems that it brings. The first type of addiction is known as alpha addiction. This type of addiction normally impacts the physical health and body of the person because it is normally associated with food. People who are addicted to food always seem to be craving something to eat, and this leaves them to become very unhealthy. This addiction can cause clogged arteries, heart attacks, and diabetes, and it can be very deadly. The fact that researchers put food addiction in its own category conveys that it's becoming more and more of a problem. The second type of addiction is known as beta addiction. This kind of addiction receives the most attention from the public and government because it also has to do with substances. Substances have infected the United States for many years. In the documentary Altered States, A History of Drug Abuse, when talking about drug abuse in the United States, it states we have never come to terms with their use, but have profited off their abuse. This quotation shows the problems that America has when it involves drugs. The beta addiction is one that is incredibly strong because it has a relationship with the body to mind functions. According to the article Addiction Types, a clinical psychology perspective, it states this type influences our decision making and relationship management ability, as well as our performance at work and in the public. It's a type that usually gets us in trouble with the law due to the unacceptable and rather non-normative behavior it generates. This addiction type causes people to lose control of their emotions and actions, and it results in people doing outrageous things to get their way. This is the reason why it gets so much attention because it's incredibly visible to the people around you. The two other types of addiction are known as gamma and delta addiction. Gamma addiction is categorized as behavioral addiction and it can ruin someone's life. The most popular addiction in this category is gambling addiction. When gambling addicts explain why it's so hard to recover from their addiction, they explain the rush. Uh, they explain that the rush when you win overpowers the feeling of guilt when you lose. Many people combine gambling addiction with other substances or bad habits, causing them to fall into the category of delta addiction. Delta addiction is known as one of the hardest addictions to get out of because it is a combination of so many different sources of dopamine. You can have a combination of any addiction, which is incredibly deadly. The brain and mental state when you are an addict is all over the place. Every kind of addiction, no matter what, has some kind of relationship with the brain. The brain creates a dependency on the drugs and it gives the person cravings that they can't control. However, when a person has this dependency, and they don't have ready access to the things that they are addicted to, it causes them to feel terrible. Withdrawals can involve physical and mental side effects, and it comes from the brain being deprived of dopamine. Some specific symptoms include agitation, depression, paranoia, disorientation, and insomnia. Addiction in the United States has been a serious problem for years now. However, we still see people suffering from addiction every day, and it's not getting better. Many programs and treatment facilities have been founded and built to allow people the right to get better and seek treatment. Thank you.